thing over and over again, and that's what we're getting. We're insane. That is the pure definition of insanity. If you keep asking these same people that come forward out and Photoshop themselves and give you promises and zero, you even not allow somebody that's to change the direction Nigeria is going. If you're sick, you don't ask your doctor, is this one from Nigeria? You take it because that's the prescription for good health. And I believe that I can bring those kind of to the table. My state is not important. My pedigree is what I'm relying on. I'm not here to come on a fashion show to anybody else. From the inception of this country, my family has served Nigeria and served Nigeria proudly. From 1960, on the day of independence, after Prince Malik Ado was the High Commissioner in the UK, independence document to Queen Elizabeth, and he lowered the Union Jack and raised the Nigerian flag. The Ado family has been much involved in what I could call service to the people. And that is another reason why I joined YPP, because of that slogan, service to the people. We have had ambassadors, IG of police. We created phenomenal sex. We have been captains of industry. I'm not coming to take something. That is what my pedigree and ancestry demands of me. I remember that a story I was told about my grandfather. In 1930, he went to England through to the Hajj, but through England on a vessel. And he paid his customary visit to Queen George V at the time. Took 2 lions as a gift. And he was in Buckingham Palace. He was asked, what do you want? Do you want wealth? He says, no, I'm rich. Do you want a car? He says, no, I even drive a Rolls Royce in where I'm from. He said, what do you want? His answer really was perturbing to the British, because he said, when I came on the vessel from Nigeria, I went into my room, turned it, and when I went to my hotel room, I turned it and water came out. He said, my people have to walk up many hills to be able to go fetch water. All I want is for the king to allow me to bring to my people that kind of tap, as he was told, to the villages. That is service to your people. He didn't want something for himself, he wanted something for his people. And Okene became one of the first places in Nigeria to have, till today, the waterworks is still there. And that was what was the spirit in which we were born, to serve Nigeria, to be there. And he did one thing that got him in a lot of trouble. He did his children. And for that he was exiled by Lord Lugard. So I have roots in the development of this country, and I'd be sad, and my ancestors would definitely be moved who didn't bring that kind of foresightedness into leadership in Nigeria. And I'm not doing this because I want to win a fashion show, as I said. I'm doing this because I believe the next president of Nigeria needs to be the CEO of Nigeria Incorporated. He must be the chief executive. He must see things and have a solution for them. Then say, it will be fixed. Because I've seen it, do it for my people. Because my grandfather saw piped water, he wanted to do it for his people. Because I've been involved in renewable energy, I want to do it for my people. Because I've been involved in the military, I want to bring that kind of security to my people. Because I've built things, I want to bring those things to my people. But if I do not come and go ahead and relax, I have a great name outside. I'm very well sorted out by other governments. I love my country. For all the years I lived outside this country, I still have that same passport. I changed it. So I'm a Peru, and I hope that question, thank you. On the question of security, it really pains me that we're talking about something so mundane. Build a railway track. You know you need to build this railway track in an area that is a bit difficult. And you know they're going to be bandits, and you know we have insecurity. But you go ahead and lay that track, because all you want to do is show that you have done your job as a minister. But did you consult with the NSA's office? Abroad and seen what they did? Did you look at the tracks only, or did you look at the environment? In most countries, when you go and you visit, or you take a train from, like I was doing, from Victoria Station to Sussex to school, or from Liverpool Street Station to my military academy, as you go down the track, you will see catch fencing. There was an offset so that people or things did not cross the track. It was electrified. Those things were put in place. We built a track without security in mind. That is bad management. That is uninciting and leadership. All you want to do is figure out, I'm going to do this and get the kudos. You didn't think about the people. You didn't think of the people who will be on that track. So by resetting Nigeria again, we go back to looking at those sort of things and my vision. If we have rail, if we have roads, let's protect it. We have roads that you can slip off. There are no street lights. There are no markings. They're death traps. But because we have to do what we have to do, we have to go to work, we have to trade, we risk our lives every day. We need to reset Nigeria and go back to basics, and that's why I'm doing what I'm doing as well. And I hope that answers your question. Thank you.
Let me with a very important question. You have said that education set you up for the choices you have made in life.
Absolutely.
Over the last 2 decades, it's always been government between us, government between polytechnic, government between... in your master plan and your blueprint for solving Nigeria's array of problems, I'm sure you've included education. How do we get back our educational system to run a par with what you were privileged to experience abroad, and it still runs till now?
Absolutely.
Because I don't hear of university lecturers going on strike and non-academic staff going on strike. So what's your solution to this?
I think it's clear that there are very must look at. But when you play your politicians, Nigerian senators, are the kind of lavish fees you get, and you pay those that you want to educate your children peanuts. You can understand the frustrations of the lecturers. If you do not pay the people who educate your children a very good wage so that you get very good lecturers, if you pay peanuts, you get monkeys. These educated, they come back, they should get paid good wages so that they can educate these children. And to fight that means you want to dumb your public down, that you want to uneducate your children. An uneducated populace bad for Nigerian problems we have. An uneducated Nigerian does not vote properly because he doesn't see these. An educated Nigerian is of great value. As I said earlier, an educated Nigerian assets this world has ever had. You only have to look where on the global scale. So we need to go back to that. And I've got some ideas. And I think that to help with this situation, we've seen a lot of private universities that are up and running. The government universities have done very well, but there are other things that we can do. We can create e-education. We've seen that during the COVID time. People were not going to school, but the schools abroad were running, and they were bringing technology to education. A 4-year degree should not take 8 or 10 years. An idea to have e-education and to create value in the schools. If you cannot attend the schools, then the government gets involved in e-education. We must get our populace back to an educated majority rather than not.
Thank you very much. So in this case, you know, we're going to be so we're going to be
what's really happening in Nigeria. That's just power. Without power, I don't think any economic the country can really move. In Nigeria today, when we're here, we experience the power famine. So, what do you think you can do? Bearing in mind that how do you tend to give Nigeria a stable justice? Every day, every day you see Baba travel from Nigeria to London. Go to our rural areas, rural communities. We don't have access to even primary health care centers. How do you tend health care services if we are virtually elected as president of Nigeria?
Thank you. I'm sorry, I can't. Thank you. Let's start with a question on power. I think a country without energy is a country that's going. It beggars belief to understand how a government will look at its, and we have to deal with power cuts in a country where we have 3 refineries. We have another one going up. We're in an age of climate change, and we don't have one solar project. We don't have one solar project. And again, from experience, I came forward with about 14 different companies. We won 2 projects, were 100 megawatts, and the idea was to put 1,400 megawatts of solar power onto the Nigerian grid. That was in 2016. But this administration has the courage. You need as to be sure about your convictions. And that conviction was they were going to have of hydro, conventional, wind. And that would help ease and increase the power of Nigeria. We also have something like we're not utilizing them. Worst of all is our transmission lines are from the 1960s. We have not improved them. We have done nothing. Everybody comes. They'll tell, that's a campaign promise. It's impossible. We must work for it. There are jobs that can be created by doing that. And my vision is, it's based on one of the 2 things that I've realized that a lot of African leaders that are more mature than me don't understand. We must build is lasting for generations. Band-aid. We need to fix the problem. We're blessed with sunshine, and I believe that if we take that as a blessing, then we must utilize. You don't pray for God to give you wealth and think the wealth is going to come and meet you. You must get out there, help yourself so God can help you. And so in my own thinking, I would like to build probably an ambitious project, grow and really be a vision for Africa. And my intention is to build 20,000 megawatts in the north of this country and use that to be able to push power down the grid instead of only from the oil-rich states and pushing it up. There's power in the north. We're just not tapping into it. And none of this needs for us to go buy expensive turbines and gas pipelines. Add the solar, and we put renewable energy in the ground. We don't have to. There's industry to do this. And I'm not just talking again. I've put 5 megawatts in Adamawa today on a private property. The whole grid in Yola gets 12 megawatts. And that Yola Disco, 12 megawatts is supplying Borno, Adamawa State, and Yobe. 12. But we have put 5 megawatts of renewable energy on one piece of property. 5 on that. I'm not doing it because I want to do something to pat myself on the back. I wanted to show that we can do this. If we have a can-do government, if we have a president with vision, then the country has something to look forward to. So the energy mix needs to be different. We need to look at renewables. We need to take the sun that we're all running away from, harness it, create a multiplier effect of creating because of industry growing. Without that, imperfect. Without power, our schools don't work. Even the e-technology I'm talking about for education does not work. But the other beautiful thing about renewables is that you can take the power and put it where it's needed. You don't need the transmission lines. That's modernity at work. But if you don't know it, you still think you have to push that power down the transmission lines. Borno State has not had power for a year. All the terrorists needed to do was blow up the transmission line, and they have no power every day. And all they needed to do was look at renewable energy and place it into Maiduguri, and today they would still be enjoying good security because things work, lights work, the enemy cannot. Power keeps company, and as a politician, if you're smart, power keeps you in power. So that is one of the lessons they haven't learned, and is one of the lessons into a leadership role in Nigeria. Trying to understand the last question and talking about how do you fix the problems in the country. Would that be all right?
What in your analysis, what is really the problem? One thing goes on and all the things align with it. And then we start working. Education is fixed, power is fixed, and commerce and industry. Human capital is moving and national growth.
You just answered the question.
Yes. I will underline it with one other thing. It's very important that we understand that any politician that comes here and tells you, I can start going back to that foundation, as I've told you, and try to fix that foundation and with strong leadership, and by leading by example, the next guy comes in, and we typically see in Africa is, especially in Nigeria, a governor comes in and does well, the next governor doesn't take that thing up and says, well, that will give the credit to that guy, and you see a project that's not finished. It's laid by the side. We should take people to task when they're governors and they're presidents. We have too many white elephants in a country that doesn't have any elephants. We have projects that are not finished. We need to go back and reset Nigeria by fixing those things so that we can take off as a nation. So that's the only thing I'm really here to do. I feel like I'm a bridge between the old and what's coming. And you must fix that foundation before you can get footing. And that's all I'm hoping to get a chance to do.
Thank you very much. There's a question here.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Mary Chiga. I work for RCTV. In a short space of time, I've seen a lot of people come out to, declare for their interest in the presidential
I will.
Parties in Nigeria win on structures, not the names.
Very good.
I've seen INEC did this a lot of parties. They could say just mushroom parties. So why do you really think you are going to win? I mean, we talked about so much of security. I feel that you've just been, not exactly hitting the nail on the. I would be surprised if you come here and say this and this and this and what you're going to do, because in 20 it's not the same thing. In 2015, we were saying ABC saying so and so in the next 3 months, and this is like 7 years, and we haven't seen anything on the issue. Now it's called banditry. Precisely, especially in the north. What are you going to do? And I will sound the question. Are you in this to win? Or it is just one of those clout chases?
Of followers, or not secure to 50,000 votes. We've seen that. And your party as well has just one major person in office, that's the senator representing Anambra South, who in the last governorship election, out of 21 local governments, he won just one, his own. Now, considering all the factors I've mentioned, it's true. So I should be on record that who is a former presidential aspirant, or you are in this to really make a mark. But from all indices, and by the way by your party, are you convinced on your own that so it's just a case of a pretender and a contender? If I'm not wrong, that's your governor, who on Saturday will declare the same position. Palace. Now, if you meet Bello face to face, now would you that I'm running against you in the next election? Thank you. It's offensive.
Well, I will first take your challenge. I will first take your challenge up, the last part of it first. The Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria allows for anybody, male, female, Christian, or Muslim, for the position of President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. My father is a king to all, not a king to some. He visits the church, he visits the mosque. Yaya Bello is his subject. My father is the friend to all. I came into this race because I believe I have something to offer. And I'll answer your question directly. If you go to vote for a party that has failed you in the next election, a party that has failed you, you are dumb. If you go and vote for another party that failed you, you are dumber. Same road, getting hit by things, getting blasted, getting insecure, fear, no school, no healthcare, no security, no light, and you still go back to the same source. then we don't deserve to be calling ourselves Nigerians. Now is somebody, not a party. We need a visionary, not a symbol. I don't come here carrying an umbrella or a broom. I come here with a cerebral mind. I have things I can do in my life. I have a fantastic company. I have a loving family. I do not want to be dissected because I feel that I want to raise myself. I'm raised. I'm a proud Nigerian. I'm an educated man that understands that failure to educate you, as well as your whole country, a poorer nation. I cannot sit here, you know, we are here from, there's a pothole that's at this corner, the hole. It's now a roundabout. What happens? Ministers pass that. FCT, FCDA, they pass that same place. It goes to fix it because it's not my problem. Nigeria is my problem. It is every single one of us standing up. It's not the party. The party can hide. If you keep going after the party structure, thinking they have structures, look in the hearts and minds of the people who you. Does he represent me? Is a reflection. And I challenge every single one of you at home or here to deny that fact. If you have a bigot, a racist in your country, and your name is Trump, that is exactly what you get. If you have a bigot, a that talks to people anyhow and pretends that he's something that's bigger than everybody, and his name is Boris Johnson, you get failure because you have Brexit not working. You have a country that is disassociated itself because of one man's decision to take us out of what is probably one of the most exciting. You get a young man like Macron that's 40-something years old. He's leading his nation. You get a comedian that everybody makes fun of that is now fighting a KGB agent and doing harm to a nuclear nation. They came out, they didn't need to, and they led their country. Whether you don't like Trump or you don't like Boris out, whether you don't like Macron, they came out. Macron did his presidential bid. Why? They looked at the party. They looked at his cerebral nature, not his party. You need to look at that when you put all of us in line and ask one question. What have you done? If you cannot answer that question, if they cannot answer that question directly, then ask them the second question. What will you do? Because that what will you do is either going to take you to the grave. And a visionary says what he's going to do. YPP may be a small party, but I'm not asking people to vote for YPP. And the people within YPP for you to vote for YPP. They're asking you to their platform for Nigeria to choose. Judge me based on what my vision will be to lead you, not what my past or my ambition might be. So I really pray that Nigerians will start, for the love of God, to look at the soul vision of the next leader of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, what he's willing to do, how much energy he's bringing. We don't want frail leaders. We don't want to be looking at people who we are seeing departing every 5 minutes. I want you to find a president that will roll up his sleeves and fight for you. Fight for growth. Because we've taken mediocrity as our crown. If I met Yaya Bello, it's hello. I don't have anything against him, but I don't see him at my local spotlight. I'm an international spotlight. And I don't say but know your position or somebody will put you in it. I do not. I came from God and I will go back to God. But what Nigeria needs is people with vision. What has he done? Any single one of them. When God passes away and you become president, you are incumbent on yourself to show greatness in that state. I can tell you my state is poor, but I'm not there to fight him at that level. I'm not there to criticize him at that level. That's for people who vote. Or they should raise him and in where he is today. Running Nigeria, a state, a senator, a legislator can come out in public and walk a street. Nobody. So we must be very careful about who we bring into power. What is your antecedents? What have you done you want to do? I love the not afraid of any man. If you come into this arena to fight, if you're a lady and you come into this arena, your gender or your age, to meet Malik Ado Ibrahim, I will wash you down and I will show you I'm a better person.
So Mary Chinda of Arise TV had asked you, are you in this for the show? She asked you repeatedly because I think she wants you to give an express answer to that question.
I will go back to myself. It will tell you one thing if you read between. I'm a Nigerian. I know they carry second. I'm in here and I'll go the long way because I hope that by doing so, other people will see that this is not brain science. This is about your heart and mind. This is about being refreshing. If I come second, if I come last, it doesn't matter. The fact that I took myself out of this box, a comfortable, very comfortable box. I'm newly married. I want to enjoy myself. And I asked her from the first time I met her, I have a humanitarian goal here because I want to marry who doesn't believe in me. I want somebody who believes in my dream. And I found the perfect partner for that. And like any woman, you've asked me, will you quit? Quit what? Nowhere else to go. I need a visa, just like anybody in this room, to go anywhere. And if you don't have a good record, if they look at the internet and say he did 419, are the embassies smarter or stupid that they allow me to travel with multi-year visas? I stand my ground with my hand on my heart as a Nigerian. I'm fighting for this country, and I believe I have the pedigree, I have the foresight, I have the vision. Last or first, doesn't matter. Every single one of us owe it to every one of our children, our ancestors, to be the best we can for this country. It is not easy. Field ahead of us. Please look at the woman that you want to lead you. Do they represent the person you want talking to Biden or Macron or Putin or Ado Akufo in Ghana? Who do you want? And what do they do to represent you? Are they fighters? Are they frail? Are they convicted in some way? What is it about them that makes you believe that they represent you? And that's all I ask. I'm not afraid. I'm here for the long run.
Before I go back to the last 4 questions that we're going to take, because time is fast spent. How many of us have this? How many of us have this? Okay, I think this should go round. It did come into circulation?
No, but I know it.
Where it came from? Yes. Okay, because I thought this actually came from your predecessor, and I accelerator. We did kickstart something because we had expected to see the man, the mission of Ado Malik, the vision of Ado Malik, and what you need to know to stand with Ado Malik. If we want your profile, we'll find it everywhere and anywhere and set. So when next you come visiting, we really want the social contract so that we deal with you according to your social contract, with all due respect.
Thank you.
And you have said that when Ado Malik, and we're in the fighting ring, you're not going to look at the gender, and that takes us to the gender issue, because it's a very sore and sour issue in the Nigerian social space right now. I'm sure you've heard the news, the Senate and the House of Representatives, the gender bill, and all. Princess Adama, from all beautiful BV women in the course of your life all over the world come in contact with. And when you saw her, you said, this one is not meant for us, she's meant to follow me on a mission, a humanitarian mission, and you chose her. So assuming and hoping that you clinch this and it becomes a reality, what's your vision for women in Nigeria? Is it the other room, or do we have to bring our tables and our chairs are made, or do we have a percentage? Because you would agree with me that she's very intelligent. That's one of the reasons you married her. We have so many intelligent people doing great and mighty things in the. So what for Ado Malik's game and vision for the women in Nigeria?
I think I'd like to just state it for the record. I've said this many times, that 50% of our population are women, and they gave birth to the other 50% of us. They have an equal seat on any table I'm involved in. But I also want them to know that they have a champion. You cannot change this overnight. It is impossible. One thing we must be very careful of is not saying we're going to put the numbers in so that optically it looks good. If you are a square and I require a square, if you're a woman or a man, then I will have you. There's a need, but you must come with the same so that you can fight against the man. And women have to be more brave. Nigerian women are not lacking in bravery. You give them an opportunity and they will shine. But giving the opportunity is the most important thing. So it can't be just about numbers. Fall flat again. It has to be the right person. And yes, it would be fantastic for us to be 50-50. We must get the right woman and the right man in every position in this country. And as I said, you have a champion. You have somebody who's not exposed. Phenomenal family, as I said. I've got 3 daughters myself. Them not do well. I have a wife that pushes, and she has her own business. And I have women in my office that are bright, they're strong, and they want to do things. And that's why we should have men that are gender inclusive in the leadership of this country. It just needs to be so.
So 2 more questions, and you're done, because of thank you. But Nigeria is a huge trade leads.
Good afternoon.
My name is I'm listening to you very much. Very fantastic things on the lab. One thing for sure, you have so you mentioned that she, for instance, has structures across the nation. Nations in the world, these are big time players. Over the years, these are names that are you have the family to protect. Always in the know. But again, my question is this: 1, do you have national watches of policy? That is 1.
Please, can you repeat the question?
Do you have a financial war chest?
That's 1. Number 2, do you have structures existing across the nation? These are just questions.
Lovely questions. Oof. Okay, so let's go to this elephant in the room about money and politics.
Yes, sir. You have the floor.
I think it's very important that we understand that, well, let me put it a different way. With all this money that they had and they've plowed into politics over the last 20 years, they could only muster a maximum of 20 million votes. With all that money, 28 million. Now, have you heard any of them come out and tell you what they're going to do when they get there? With all that money, where did they get that money from? Are you going to scrutinize them the way you're going to scrutinize me? Because when I'm coming into politics, I'm not a politician, I'm a businessman. And I'm not here to use my wealth to mortgage or my future or my children for something that I want to do out of the love of my heart. So I'm disassociating myself with a war chest the size of a Tinubu or Atiku, as you've mentioned. Their fight is amongst themselves. You know, I want to be on a stage with these gentlemen, and I want Nigeria to hear what the future looks like. I want them to hear my vision of the future. I don't want to give you campaign promises. I can show you literally on a daily basis, not just in Nigeria, but anywhere around the world where I have offices, things that I'm doing to move other nations. Give me an opportunity to do in my country. Not that I haven't tried. I have an office here. I haven't made a penny in Nigeria. I can tell you that for sure. I make my wealth outside this country. And it's because I'm dealing with men of vision, women of vision, people who want better things for their nation. And they don't judge me. They judge me by my intellect. We must judge our leaders by their intellect, not their ambition, or not the fact that or a senator or a vice president, because you are not the president. You are a spare tire or a leader, and that's it. That's all you bring to the table. The wealth you garnered came from them, most likely, because I can't see where they generated their wealth from. Let us not deceive ourselves as a nation that we are celebrating wealth for men that have come like a Dangote from industry. We have come from shadows. What do they bring to the table apart from taking from you? What are they going to give you? As Kennedy said, don't ask what your nation can do for you. I'm asking my nation, what can I do for you? So that I can be the person you want to lead you out of the morass and the darkness. I'm bringing the light. In that wholeheartedly. I wouldn't get in this thing just to, I have one. To get wealth, I have it. To get exposure, I have it. I want credibility because I did a good job and because I have been doing a good job. Anyone fit for purpose today? So I do not fear this competition. Yes, I'm getting into the ring, male or female. It's a competition. It is not one of beauty. It's one of talent, vision. If you go into that boxing ring, protect yourself at all times. But you don't go in and put a man that is ill-prepared or a woman is ill-prepared and say, oh, please don't hit me. Oh, please don't uppercut me because I have a weak chin. You don't. You go there and you blast. If you come to a gunfight with me and you tell me you're coming with a gun, I'm coming with a nuclear. I'm not coming to play second. So that's all I know. So the question of bringing a woman as a running mate, I will say this clearly and very honestly. I'm already an unknown entity in this race. to bring a woman would only make my race even more difficult. What I would like to do is empower and encourage and bring into power the right women in this country and let them show their skill sets so that people can look at them from what I've done to say, oh wow, he picked this woman as a minister and she's done well, she can lead. The glass ceiling is there. Hillary Clinton or Margaret Thatcher, what they needed to do was to find men that would enable them to get there. I'm an enabler. I want to also finish the last question that I didn't get to answer, which was, being in this race has so many different things that we all have to be very careful. If we go one way, it will be about a Muslim. If we go another way, it will be about a Christian. If we go one, it will be south. It will go another, it will be west. This power comes from the extremes of this nation. Those two parties be the only two parties. I come from Kogi State. I believe that I can be the uniter-in-chief of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, to bring people together so that we have a better nation going forward.
Distinguished comrades, I know that we've come to, but before you take a bow and then take your, we like to keep memories here. Your final words before the vote of thanks. We thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Your very final words on this particular exposure.
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank the NUJ for having the bravado, the guts, the courage to able to put these sort of forums are what a democracy needs. We need to challenge these people. We don't need Agbero, we don't need to bring crowds into here. You need to be able to challenge and ask questions you want answered. You want to be able to look the man in the eye and say you've seen his soul, or you haven't, and he doesn't have one, or he has one, or he has a mission, or he's pretending. You have to go by your gut instinct, and the media do that better than anyone else. You get close. The public don't get this close. So I encourage men and women of the media and those that are here today to investigate those of us in this great office. I thank you. But all I know is that this country needs people like myself that have an opportunity to be exposed and visionary, to come forward and at least present a best case scenario for a better night. Thank you very much, and I'm very happy to be here, and I'm thankful for all your attendance.
I think it deserves a round of applause. Your Excellency, in the future, please sit down while we say thank you. Let me invite the Secretary of the Council of the T.H.E E.X.P.O.S.U.R.E.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. It has been a very session this afternoon. Thank you very much, His Excellency.
Thank you, sir.
Malik Ado, President. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Madam, thank you. Like you said, there's going to be an event with you from conference. I can see that from what you say here on the profile, that the new Nigeria is possible. But they mentioned that we must not raise up to have new Nigeria. Then police say, beneficial profession. I will want you to ask, please, anybody who says you can do it better, or you can take Nigeria to better than please bring that person here. Let us incorporate that person. Let us see what he brings. Let us know what he has for us. The plans he has for the practical solution to Nigerian problem. So, sir, I thank you, but I want to appreciate you, sir, for one thing. We want this session to be a kind of continuous song, so that we consciousness of Nigeria. I will tell you that this will be here. We take a lot of discussion on our ability to do that we are ready and we are able, because the media is always going to set agenda for Nigeria and also get it right for the good of all. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Your Excellency, sir, They have